Hi. So here is Henry and Mudge, the first book by Cynthia Rylant, illustrations by Susie Stevenson. We read chapters 1, 2, and 3 in the previous video. So today we'll go ahead and finish the whole book, read chapters 4, 5, 6, and I believe that we said there were 7 chapters. This chapter is called Mudge. Remember, they're taking turns. One chapter is called Henry, then the next one's Mudge, then Henry, and now we're back to Mudge again. I wonder how they came up with that name. Mudge loved Henry's room. He loved the dirty socks. He loved the stuffed bear. He loved the fish tank. But mostly, he loved Henry's bed. There's the socks, the teddy bear, the fish tank, the bed. Because, why does he love Henry's bed? Because in Henry's bed was Henry. Mudge loved to climb in with Henry. Then he loved to smell him. He smelled his lemon hair. He smelled his milky mouth. He smelled his soapy ears. He smelled his chocolate fingers. Looks like he's giving him a taste too. Then he put his head by Henry's head. He looked at the fish tank. He looked at the bear. He looked at Henry. He licked him, and he fell asleep. My dog sleeps in my bed too. Does your dog sleep in your bed, or your cat, if you have a pet? What about your bird or your bunny? Oh, I was wrong. The next chapter is also called Mudge, so 2 chapters called Mudge right in a row. One day, Mudge took a walk without Henry. The sun was shining, the birds were flying, the grass smelled sweet. Mudge couldn't wait for Henry, so he left. You think he's looking for Henry? He went down one road, sniffing the bushes, then down another road, kicking up dust. He went through a field, across a stream, into some pine trees. And when he came out on the other side, he was lost. Lucky he has his collar with his name tag and phone number on it. He couldn't smell Henry. He couldn't smell his front porch. He couldn't smell the street he lived on. Mudge looked all around, and he didn't see anything or anyone he knew. He must be very worried. Have you ever been lost? He whined a little, alone without Henry. Then he lay down, alone without Henry. He missed Henry's bed. Poor Mudge, and it looks like it's getting dark. I'm worried. The next chapter is called Henry. I'm sure Henry is worried too. Henry thought Mudge would be with him always. He thought Mudge made everything safe. He thought Mudge would never go away. And when Mudge did go away, when Henry called and called, but Mudge didn't come, Henry's heart hurt, and he cried for an hour. But when he finished crying, Henry said, "Mudge loves me. He wouldn't leave. He must be lost." Oh, poor guy. He thought Mudge left him because he wasn't happy there, but he knows better. So Henry walked, and he called, and he looked and looked for his dog Mudge. He walked down one road, then down another road. The sun shone as Henry ran through a field, calling and calling. The birds flew past as he stood beside a stream, calling and calling. And the tears fell again as he looked at the empty pine trees for his lost dog. Mudge! He called one last time. Oh, don't give up, Henry. And Mudge woke up from his lonely sleep, then came running. The last chapter is called Henry and Mudge. Every day when Henry woke up, he saw Mudge's big head, and every day when Mudge woke up, he saw Henry's small face. They ate breakfast at the same time. They ate supper at the same time. And when when Henry was at school, Mudge just lay around and waited. Mudge never went for a walk again without Henry, and Henry never worried that Mudge would leave. Because sometimes in their dreams, they saw long, silent roads, big, wide fields, deep streams, and pine trees. In those dreams, Mudge was alone, and Henry was alone. So when Mudge woke up and knew Henry was with him, he remembered that dream and stayed closer. And when Henry woke up and knew Mudge was with him, he remembered the dream and the looking and the calling and the fear, and he knew he would never lose Mudge again. And that's the end. I hope you enjoyed these brief chapters in this short chapter book called Henry and Mudge, the first book. And maybe you can ask your parents to go to the library and get more Henry and Mudge stories. Or when you come back to school, you can find some in our library. I will see you soon with our next chapter book.